One afternoon, Amarachi pulled her aside at work. "Amaka," she said, her arms folded. "We need to talk." Amaka blinked. "Is everything okay?" "No," Amarachi said. "I don't like what's happening." "What do you mean?" Amarachi lowered her voice. "This David you're always giving money. Are you sure he loves you?" Amaka gasped. "Of course he does." Amarachi raised one eyebrow. "Then why is he always collecting from you? When was the last time he gave you anything?" "He buys me Puff Puff sometimes," Amaka said quickly. "Puff Puff?" Amarachi said. "My dear, that's not love." Amaka frowned. "He's just going through a hard time." "Then let him go through it as a man. You're not his mother. You're his girlfriend. Let him take the lead. If he truly loves you, he should be the one providing for you." Amaka looked away. "I don't mind helping him." "You're not helping. You're losing yourself." Amaka didn't sleep well that night. She tossed and turned. She looked at her small purse on the table. It was empty. She had no money for food tomorrow. But she had just given David 10,000 naira to help him fix something important. Was Amarachi right? She closed her eyes. "No," she told herself. "David loves me. He needs me. That's all." But her heart didn't feel peaceful. One day, Amaka went to visit David without telling him. She had made jollof rice and fried plantain for him. "I want to surprise him," she said to herself happily. She knocked on his door. No answer. She knocked again. Then a girl opened the door. She was wearing David's shirt. "Yes?" the girl asked. Amaka's heart dropped. "Sorry, I'm looking for David." "Oh, he went out. I'm his cousin," the girl said quickly. "Okay," Amaka said softly, backing away. That night, David called her. "You came to my place?" he asked. "Yes, I brought food." A girl opened the door. He paused. "Oh, yeah, that's my cousin." "She was wearing your shirt." David laughed. "That's how close we are." Amaka tried to smile. "Okay." But something didn't feel right. The next week, David asked for money again. "I need N5,000. I'm really in trouble," he said. Amaka didn't have it. "I'm sorry, I have nothing left." David's voice changed. "You can't help me? After all I've done for you?" Amaka blinked. "What have you done for me?" "I gave you love," he snapped. She was quiet. "I see how it is," he added. "When I need you most, you disappear." Then he ended the call. Amaka sat on her bed. Tears ran down her cheeks. She picked up her phone and called Amarachi. "I think you were right," she whispered. Amarachi didn't say, "I told you so." She just came over, sat beside Amaka, and hugged her. "You gave your heart," Amarachi said. "That's not a bad thing. But now you have to protect it." Amaka stared out the window. She still loved David. But something was changing. She was beginning to see things clearly. Was it love? Or was it deception? It was a bright and sunny morning in Lagos. The wind was gentle. The sky was blue. Birds chirped in the trees. Cars moved slowly on the road, and children walked to school with happy voices and swinging lunch bags. Some wore slippers, others shoes, but all of them smiled and played as they walked. But David didn't smile. He walked alone. His clothes were neat but old. His shoes had small holes. His stomach was empty. He had not eaten since yesterday. His face looked tired. His eyes looked far away, like he was thinking of something very deep. He put his hands in his pockets. Nothing. No money. No hope. "God," David whispered. "I'm trying, but I'm tired. Help me, please." He didn't know where he was going. He just kept walking. David passed a big plaza. The glass doors sparkled. The air smelled like rich people's perfume. Inside, men in suits walked like they had no worries. Women in heels clicked across the floor, talking fast on phones. David stopped and looked inside. He pressed his hand on the glass. "Look at them," he thought. Clean shirts, big cars, fancy jobs. He sighed. One day, he whispered, I want to walk through this door as one of them. Then something happened. A man stepped out of the plaza. He was older, maybe 60. His hair was white. His glasses sat neatly on his nose. His shoes were shiny, and his suit was blue like the sea. The man looked at David. He didn't just glance. He really looked. Hey, young man, the man said. David looked behind him to check if someone else was there. You? Yes, you, the man called again, smiling. David pointed to himself. Me? Yes, come here, the man said. David walked up slowly. He was nervous. What's your name? The man asked. David, sir. You look like someone who wants more from life, the man said. Do you have a CV? David blinked. Sir? A resume. A list of your work. David quickly opened his small bag. He pulled out a paper that was folded and a little wrinkled. The man took it, read it slowly, then smiled. You've worked hard, he said. Come for an interview tomorrow, 10 in the morning. Don't be late. Here's my card. He handed David a card with his name and office number. Thank you, sir, David said, almost in a whisper. The man nodded and walked away. That night, David sat on his bed. The room was hot. His fan didn't work. But he didn't care. He held the card in his hand like treasure. Could this be my chance? He asked himself. Is this real? He picked up his phone. He opened Amaka's number. He wanted to tell her, but something stopped him. What if I fail? What if I don't get the job? I'll tell her after the interview, he decided. The next morning, David woke up early. He washed his only white shirt. He ironed it with care. He used cooking oil to shine his old black shoes. He trimmed his beard with a razor and combed his hair. You can do this, he said in the mirror. You're ready. He left the house and walked fast. His heart was beating like a drum. At the plaza, he told the lady at the desk, I'm here to see Mr. Okiki. She smiled. Room 302, third floor. He walked up the stairs slowly, breathing deep. At the door, he knocked. Come in, a voice said. Inside, Mr. Okiki sat at a big wooden desk. The room smelled like lemon and books. Good morning, sir, David said. Sit down, David, the man said. The interview lasted 30 minutes. Mr. Okiki asked many questions. What makes you a hard worker? Why do you want this job? Can you lead people? David answered honestly. He told stories from his past jobs. He spoke about carrying cement at the construction site, serving customers at the restaurant, sweeping floors at the bar. He told the truth. At the end, Mr. Okiki smiled. You're hired, he said. David froze. What? Sir? You start Monday. You'll earn N$450,000 monthly. A house and car will be provided. Do well, and there's more to come. David stood up slowly. He wanted to shout, but he held it in. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Work hard, David, the man said. Don't waste this chance. I won't. Outside, David couldn't hold it anymore. He shouted, Yes! He laughed out loud. He hugged a woman selling oranges. He danced on the street. He jumped into the air. God did it! God has remembered me! People looked at him and smiled. Someone's happy today, a man said. Yes, I am, David replied. Back in the restaurant, Amaka was wiping a table. The restaurant was half full. Mama Nkechi was frying plantains in the kitchen. Music played softly on the radio. Amaka kept looking at the door. She was waiting. He's late, she whispered. She checked her phone. No message, no missed calls. He must be busy, she said. But David didn't come that evening. He didn't come the next day either, or the day after that. Amaka began to worry. Maybe he's sick? She asked Amarachi. Amarachi shrugged. Call him. Amaka tried. Ring, ring. No answer. She tried again. Nothing. Then Amarachi came running during break. Amaka, open your WhatsApp. Amaka opened the app. Her heart stopped. David had posted a photo. He was standing beside a black car, wearing a blue suit, smiling wide. The caption said, "New beginnings. Thank you, Lord." Amaka dropped her phone. She picked it up and called him. Ring, ring. No answer. She called again. Still no answer. She sent a message. David, congratulations. I saw your picture. I'm so happy for you. No reply. She waited. 1 minute. 10 minutes. 1 hour. Still nothing. 3 days passed. Still no message. Still no call. Amaka's chest felt heavy. She used a friend's phone to call him. Still, he didn't pick. Amarachi sat beside her in the back room. She said gently, "He's ignoring you." "No," Amaka said, shaking her head. "He's just settling in." "Amaka, it's been days. He's busy. Even busy people reply messages." Amaka looked down. A tear dropped on her lap. 1 month passed, then 2, then 3. David didn't return. He didn't message her. He didn't call. He disappeared, like smoke in the wind. Amaka sat in her room, alone. The bulb above her flickered. She was hungry. She had nothing in her purse. She looked at the small framed photo of her and David from happier days. "I gave you everything," she whispered. "Why did you leave?" She picked up her phone. With shaking fingers, she typed, "Did I do something wrong?" She hit send, then waited. Nothing. 10 minutes passed. Still nothing. Amaka sat on the floor, her head in her hands. Tears rolled down her cheeks, big, heavy ones. She didn't cry loudly. She cried like someone who had lost a part of themselves. David had left, just like that. And Amaka's heart was broken. The days passed slowly, like cold syrup from a bottle. Amaka still hoped. She woke up each morning with a tiny wish living in her chest. Maybe today he'll call. Maybe he'll explain. She brushed her hair neatly, wore her red apron like always, cooked the stew with care, smiled at customers, but her mind wasn't in the restaurant. It was somewhere else. It was with David. Every time her phone buzzed, her heart leaped. But it was never him. Not once. Not even a message that said, "I'm sorry." Not even a sad face emoji. Amaka sat alone on her small mattress at night, looking through their old photos. David's smile stared back at her from her screen. There were so many pictures, laughing at the beach, eating suya under the stars, sitting close on a yellow Kiki Napep. Back then, he used to hold her hand like he was holding the whole world. Now, he held silence, and silence was cruel. One hot afternoon, Amaka went to the market to buy tomatoes for Mama Nkechi. The sun was strong, the road was dusty. Her feet moved slowly. As she turned a corner near the pepper cellar, someone called her name. "Amaka?" She turned. It was Kunle, a former waiter at the restaurant. He hadn't been around for months. "Kunle?" she said with a half smile. He wore a cap and was carrying a black nylon bag. His white shirt had little dots of palm oil. "It's been long," he said. "You still at Mama Nkechi's?" She nodded. "Yes, you?" "I'd hustle," he said with a tired laugh. "Small jobs here and there." They talked for a few moments about life, Lagos traffic, and rising tomato prices. Then Kunle lowered his voice. "I thought you and David ended things." Amaka blinked. "What?" Kunle raised his hands. "No vexo. I thought you knew." "Knew what?" "About his new girlfriend." Amaka's body went still. She stared at him like he had spoken in another language. Kunle looked confused. "You didn't know?" She shook her head. His voice dropped even lower. "Since he got that job, things changed. He dresses sharp now. Designer shoes, fancy perfume. And that new girl? Her papa is one of the company's big men." Amaka couldn't speak. She stood frozen on the spot, the basket in her hand slowly slipping down until it hit the ground. They found a bench under a tree to sit. Amaka's face was pale. Her eyes stared into nothing. Kunle wiped his brow. I thought he told you. I wouldn't have said anything if I knew. She shook her head again. No, it's okay. But it wasn't okay. Nothing was okay. She whispered, he never said goodbye. Kunle's voice was soft. He just moved on. That evening, Amaka walked home with heavy legs. The sky was orange. People were rushing home with bags and plastic containers. But she didn't notice any of it. She kept seeing David's face in her mind, kept hearing Kunle's words. New girlfriend, rich, fancy life, moved on. Back in her room, she sat on the floor with her back against the wall. She didn't even take off her shoes. Her phone lay next to her like a rock. She didn't touch it. She just sat there, staring at the wall until the sun disappeared. At work the next day, she tried to smile, but her eyes were dim. She spilled water twice and forgot an order. Mama Nkechi scolded her gently. Amaka, are you okay? She nodded. But she wasn't okay. Amarachi came close. You've been quiet all morning, she said. Amaka bit her lip. David has someone else. Amarachi's face froze. He told you? No, Amaka said. I found out from someone else. Amarachi's mouth opened slightly. She didn't know what to say. Amaka kept cleaning the table. Her hands moved. Her heart didn't. That evening, Amaka passed a boutique on her way home. A light blue dress with silver beads sat in the window. It looked just like the one she had dreamed of wearing on a date with David. She stopped, stared, then turned away and walked faster. She reached home and opened her purse. N500. That was it. She remembered all the times she gave David money, for food, for rent, for bus fare. She sat on the cold floor and hugged her knees. Was I just a ladder for him to climb? She wondered. Did he ever love me at all? People began to talk. Even the children in her street whispered. She heard them. That girl? The one David used to date? Look at her, still wearing the same clothes. I heard he's dating someone who wears gold earrings. Each word was like a stone. She walked quickly, but the words followed, like shadows. One morning she decided to go see him. Not to talk, just to look. She stood across the street from the company building. It was tall and shiny, with glass doors and security guards. She waited. Cars came and left. Then a sleek black car stopped in front of the building. David stepped out. He wore dark sunglasses. His suit was navy blue. His shoes sparkled. A girl stepped out from the other side. She had long hair, a bright smile, and heels that clicked when she walked. She laughed and touched David's shoulder. David smiled back, the same smile he once gave Amaka. Amaka gasped. She turned quickly. She walked away fast. Then she ran. Her chest hurt like someone had thrown stones inside her heart. That night, she lay on her bed. Her eyes stared at the ceiling fan as it turned slowly. She whispered to the empty room. Why? Why did you do this to me? She reached for her phone, opened their old chats. So many sweet words, promises, plans. Now silence, cold and cruel. She typed a message. Why did you lie to me? But she didn't send it. She just stared at the screen. Then she put the phone down. Maybe he loved me once, she thought. Maybe I was just his beginning. She didn't cry. Not yet. She couldn't. The pain was too full to come out as tears. Still, nothing could have prepared her for what happened next.